flashback time. I want to share a real moment in my life when I was a student. There was really nothing that stand out or unusual or particularly special about it at the time, because there's no blockbuster suspense movie in this story, no soap opera drama, but now, looking back, I think it's very telling why it's now a moment I remember so clearly and why I feel it's important that I share it with you, because so many students are in the exact same situation and making the same mistake that I did back then. And I definitely don't want your teen to make that same mistake. So there's an important lesson in here for your teen, which I'll share with you in just a moment as well. This isn't just a not so romantic trip down memory lane with no purpose. There is a definite message. Now, I shared this story just once or twice in the very early days of Rock Solid Study, but it's occurred to me that most of the parents and students in our community now have probably never heard it. There I was, 17 years old, sat in the study area at the library at the sixth form college I was at, which is the equivalent in England of year 11 and 12 senior years here in Australia. I was being the model diligent student. I'd heard more than once how good students needed to do extra reading around the subject to get great results. So I did just that. I sat there writing notes from a National Geographic article to add to my geography work. And I can't actually remember exactly what the article is about. I know it was something to do with rainforests. I can't remember though whether we were studying, ecosystems, or it might have been tourism or sustainable environments. I really can't remember the details. Either way, whatever it was, there I was sat writing out notes and notes about some case study example that had something to do with the topic I was currently studying. Now, that shows self-motivation, right? No one had made me do it. No one had set it for homework. I was going over and above as a student, and it showed independence, proactivity, taking positive steps to improving my results. Yes? Right? Well, no, I'm afraid not. Well, yes to the self-motivation and being proactive in all of those things, doing what I thought I had to do, what I've been told the best students do to get best possible grades. But in terms of taking positive steps to improving my results, no. Here's the interesting part, or at least it's interesting to me now. I genuinely remember feeling, even at the time, sat there, blue pen in hand, red pen at the ready for the keywords, feeling like I just didn't really know how this was going to help me. There was just this little flicker in the back of my mind. I figured that maybe I'd be able to mention it at some point in an exam question answer, but I just blindly followed that very general advice. So I kind of was questioning it in the sense that I just wasn't really sure how it was going to help me, but I totally buried that uncertainty and just did it anyway. Now, the truth is that advice of wider reading is one of the last things students should do or could do to improve their grades. They don't really need extra case studies. They're going to cover the ones they need within the syllabus and their term planners, or at least they should be. And they don't need extra information beyond what's in the syllabus dot points, because it strictly cannot be examined anyway. It's a very strict rule of exam boards and for schools in how exams are written. Plus, here's the important part. I can list 100 other activities that would have been or would have had a greater and more direct impact on building my skills, my knowledge, my success academically. I know them now from over a decade in teaching, tutoring, exam marking, external exam board training, which is why I've made it my mission these days to train students in the best and most effective actions and skills in my programs, the workshops, and the personal coaching that I run, especially in my 10-week grade transformation program. So my message is this: if your team's doing something to extend themselves and is working hard but doesn't really know how it's going to link to building their skills or their performance against the syllabus criteria and in their exam technique elements, then either they need to find out how that's actually helping them so they know how to enact it properly, or if there isn't a clear match, then they need to stop doing it and find something that's a lot more effective for their time, their energy, and their effort. So they aren't working hard for little outcome or reward. So they're not wasting time and effort, but instead they study and build their knowledge and skills in a way that gets results. Or even just use that time to relax, maybe enjoy some time with friends and family instead. Just don't let them go working hard without knowing exactly how that work's going to help boost their results. So if you'd like them to have the exact steps and guidance to do things that are actually going to pay off, that'll give them the biggest bang for their buck, then go and check out the 10-week grade transformation program so that they can be led step by step through the most effective ways to making their foundations really solid and do the things that are going to catapult their grades and confidence. I'm Katie Price, grade transformation expert, and I'd love to hear your take on this. Are there any examples of work or practices that really has or totally hasn't paid off for your teen in the past, or something they're doing right now? Drop me a comment below this video or send me an email, katie.price@rocksolidstudy.com.au. And until next week, let's make this a fantastic and useful week.